Hi, I'm Kate and I'm from a running group called the Muddy Runners. This is another video in the Mindful Running series which accompanies the blogs on the website themindrunner.co.uk. So far I've covered the subjects of how to connect to your environment and how to connect to your body, and this video takes that one step further, looking at how we can connect to our breathing. On average, we breathe in and out around 20,000 times a day, and most of the time we don't give it a second thought. It's an automatic bodily function that we just take for granted. It just happens. But if we focus on our breathing and really take the time to bring our attention to what's happening, to tune in to the inhale and the exhale, we can do some really powerful things. In this video and the blog, I'm going to show you how to use your breathing in 3 different ways. Firstly, to help prevent injury. Secondly, to provide a useful distraction when a run gets hard. And finally, to bring your attention and awareness back to the moment you are in. This means using your breath as an anchor, and it allows us to move away from dwelling on what's happened in the past and worrying about what might happen in the future, and instead it brings us back into the present. As always though, I'm going to start my run with a few deep belly breaths, really bringing my attention to my belly rising and falling, and to focus on my feet being connected to the earth. Now, it might be that when you come out running, you notice your breathing falls into a natural breathing pattern. Or it might be that you head off and run and you don't give your breathing a second thought. What I'm going to show you now is how to really focus in on your breathing pattern and how you can experiment with that and be curious as to what you do with your breathing when you're running, and then how we can manipulate that to get different benefits. So, as you can tell, I'm a bit out of breath already, which makes it ideal for me to show you this because you should be able to hear my breathing as I run. Just so you know, I don't normally breathe this loudly when I'm running. I'm going to just do this to demonstrate in the video for you. But I'm going to start by showing you a 2-2 breathing pattern. That means you're going to breathe in for 2 and out for 2. And what you need to do is be curious as to which foot hits the ground every time you exhale. With a 2-2 breathing pattern, or even a 3-3 breathing pattern, that's to say a regular breathing pattern, you'll notice that the same foot hits the ground each time. When that happens, you're basically putting 2 to 3 times your body weight down onto that same foot. So if you are aware that you often get a regular niggle or an injury always down one side of your body or the same knee, it might be worth just changing your breathing pattern so that you exhale on the other foot. And this is something you can do while you're out running. You can experiment with that. So I'm going to show you how to do it. In, out, in. Okay, that was a demonstration of a 2-2 breathing pattern. I was breathing in for 2 and breathing out for 2. And what I was finding was I was always exhaling on the same foot. So now what I'm going to do is to make it into a 3-2 breathing pattern. So I'm going to breathe in for 3 and out for 2. What will happen then is I will exhale on alternate feet. So you can use this to prevent injury. If you're often getting a niggle on the same side of your body, if you do a 3-2 breathing pattern, then you'll spread that impact force between the 2 sides of your body. If you can't do this, then if you are a 2-2 breathing person or a 3-3 breathing person, it just helps every now and again just to change which side you exhale on. So the best way to do that mid-run is to suddenly switch into a 3-2 breathing pattern and then go back to your 2-2 or your 3-3. Out, in, out. So the other time that might be useful when you mix up your breathing patterns is when you get a stitch, the scourge of all runners. If you get that side stitch, try mixing up the side of your body that you're exhaling on. The theory is that the diaphragm, like all muscles, needs to get more oxygen in. And when you're running and that force is coming down one particular side of your body, it's travelling up and it's irritating all the muscles on that side. And if the diaphragm's spasming, then it's just going to make that worse. If you can change the exhalation onto the other foot, then you can hopefully release the tension in the diaphragm area and those muscles, and it might help just relieve that tension. So playing around with your breathing patterns like this and being curious as to what your body's doing when you inhale and exhale is really useful as a distraction tool. If you're out running and you're finding it a bit hard work, or the little voice inside your head is telling you to stop, you can do this just to give your mind something else to think about, something to focus on, and before you know it, you've run an extra kilometre or so. And finally, the other benefit of focusing on your breathing while you're out running is to make you really mindful and to really focus in on the present moment while you're running. It's about using your breath as an anchor. So if your mind does start wandering, and perhaps it's wandering to a place that's not very positive, or you're worrying about something that's happened in the past, or worrying about something that might happen in the future, you can use your breath as an anchor. So really try and remember that your breath is there. Focus back on it and think about getting those big belly breaths right down to your lower abdomen.